Billy and Kez, hear what they say. Just between us, no need to fuss. They keep it real, help you to heal. Straight up, Millsy and Kez. Straight up, Millsy and Kez. Straight up, Millsy and Kez.
Cha-cha-cha.
Hey,
Thank you, Bron Girl and Company, for our intro song. We're loving it. I'm Kez, and
I'm Mills. And just between us, we like to talk all things. Well, it's a bit weird and wonderful for some people, but it's kind of our bread and butter, isn't it?
oh, it sure is. If you
Yeah,
were privy to the first 20 minutes of conversation we had before we actually hit the record button, you would
yeah,
be like, wow, these girls talk about everything.
right.
Everything, every damn thing.
Everything.
Everything.
Because we haven't caught up for it was about six weeks since our last one. So
Yeah.
we actually have been, that I put a meme up the other day. You might have seen it. It's like when someone asks, "How are you?" and instead of saying, "I'm unraveling ancestral traumas and I'm reclaiming my true birthrights and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and all the work," but that's too hard to say. So you just say, "Fine, thanks," and you?
Well, I think I'd said when you said that, how are you? I said, yeah, everything changes, but nothing changes. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
everything but nothing.
yeah. It's kind of like I remember when I was in coaching school, Remy Pearson was talking about like when throughout life you chop wood and you gather water, and you chop wood and you gather water. And when you do the work and you become enlightened and you learn about yourself and you become this higher being, then what? You chop wood and you carry water. You chop wood and you carry water.
Yeah, right.
It's like everything changes, but nothing changes. So yeah, it's interesting, this old game of life, isn't it? It's how it is.
Right.
Yeah, interesting. But you feel
Interesting.
better, and I guess you end up chopping the wood and carrying the water that you want to chop and carry. I guess if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Excellent. So, what have you been up to, Millsy, in the 6 weeks since we have spoken?
Well, I have been doing a lot of work around money myself in terms of I've got this new mindset about it where we've set up all our accounts a bit differently now. It's a program called the thermodynamics of money,
Oh,
where it actually took a lot of work. It took hours and hours and hours because you have to review a year's worth of spending to get and work it and put it into categories of this is what I spend on food, this is what I spend on bills and living costs, this is what I spend on housing, this is what
mhm.
I spend on children's needs, that kind of thing. So there's about 11 different categories. This is what I do for investment, for future. This is what I do for donations, for giving. What else is there? Holidays, because if you don't plan a holiday, things can easily you can have an
Oh, yeah,
extravagant
never happen.
holiday, or alternatively you don't get any holidays at all.
Yeah.
So we did a year's worth of review, which took freaking three full 8-hour days of two people working on all of our bank statements and
Oh my,
highlighting. So what
yeah.
you do is you get
Oh,
your percentages, so it all comes down to a
yeah.
percent.
I've
I
heard that about money. Work with percentages, not amounts, because amounts can make
Correct.
you go, but percentages
Yes,
are
correct.
easy to
So
hear.
for instance of I've got it right over here. So in terms of food, that is about 18%. And that's like weekly shopping, takeaways, maybe the odd little lunch here and there when you pull over. I don't have time, I'll just get
Yeah. No.
takeaway, yeah, that kind of thing. So I think we worked out our food is about 19% of our bring home.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm shocked
Our
by that.
mortgage is
Not much
about
at all.
20%.
Yeah.
Our holidays was a measly in the last 12 months, a measly 2%.
Yeah. Yeah. We would have no,
Um,
we would have no
bills,
holiday money.
bills and living expenses, which includes, vets,
Mm,
friggin' animals.
yeah.
That's a whole other story with the dog challenges at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Hey, how much is your dog costing you at the moment? Because you adopted a seven, is it Bruno 7?
he's 8. He's 8
Eight.
now. So yes,
Yeah.
we adopted. We rehomed him. He's never been a pet before, so he's struggling to, well, he was struggling initially to fit into life with 3 kids and a cat in the house. And it
Mhm.
turns out he's got hypothyroidism, so the blood tests and the specialist vet bills, but it took us a while to get there. And he came good. He's gone backwards a little bit. So we're just trying to get that.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's about $500 every time we go to the vet. So we're just like, "Ooh."
Yeah. So how much in
Yeah.
the last year have you spent on Bruno alone, do you think?
I'd say getting up towards $4,000.
Yeah, wow. That's a,
Yeah.
that's a big drain, isn't it, really?
When you weren't expecting that, yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's okay. He's added
Absolutely.
a whole new dimension and dynamic to our life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you wouldn't be
Yeah,
without, like he's
no,
another family member. But yeah, as someone who doesn't have a dog yet, like we've got our cat, she's
yeah.
fairly self-sufficient. But I always had pet insurance for our dog,
Right.
and that was getting to a point where it was like $70 a fortnight for his
Oh,
insurance, and it was like, oh, that's do we need this? And in the end, we probably did. And I think what we saved by having the insurance was equal to what we paid on the insurance over the course of his 10-year life.
okay.
So, yeah, but interestingly, like because we got him from the guide dogs, he was bred to not have any sort of medical issues. So
Ah,
really he was pretty cheap to run, really.
right.
But yeah, just as someone who doesn't have a dog, considering what you just said about how expensive having a dog can
Yeah,
be.
we didn't budget in all that vet bill. So I did get a quote when we were deciding whether we wanted to take this lovely boy on or not. I did get a quote for pet insurance, and I think the cheapest quote came in at like $3,000 a year. And I thought, oh, that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you've paid it already, haven't you?
yeah, but in terms of that, I don't think we would have been covered for a lot of this stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Not really sure how it
Interesting.
all works.
Mm. Okay, yeah. So that sounds
Mm.
interesting then. So yeah, everything working
Yeah,
on.
so then we worked out so like our bills and living expenses, which includes all your insurances and your running your car and all that, was about is our biggest expense, which was like 39%. So we've got all of our categories and we've got our percentages, and then what we do is we set up a bank account for each of those categories, and every time the pay goes in, you whiz it across to the different things, and you can see it growing, and it makes you more mindful too of what you're spending,
Yeah,
and I guess it keeps you in a budget.
yeah,
And the idea is to bump up the investment part of it, because if you're not working towards your future, you're sort of living in the past. And if you're worried
yeah,
about stuff that you've already done, as he puts it, it's when you've the money's the it's been spent, it's been done, move forward, like keep looking forward.
yeah, yeah. Now,
And there's a one of our ones is honoring yourself, so a little honor account for yourself. So if you want a little something something, a new piece of motto clothing, for example, or a new whatever it is that makes you happy.
yeah,
So without you, none of this happens, so you need to be able to honor yourself as well.
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now I've got two questions though.
Yes.
How did how confronting was it for you to have everything like out on paper for you? So number one.
Yes.
Number two,
Mm.
how did you feel in the process towards your partner, especially when it comes to what you spend that much on that? Like, because I've got a husband who's got a boat, right?
Ooh.
And I would be like, I'd have a fear around doing something like this because I feel like I would be like, you think what on that boat? Like, and I don't want to feel that. So I just kind of had my head in the sand around it. So was there yeah, how did you feel having it all out, open slather in the open? And
Right.
how
I
did you feel?
probably had more to hide than Ash did. But in saying that, not really that much. We don't have expensive hobbies at all. I mean, yeah, what Mark might spend on his boat, you might spend on self-development. If when you
Mm,
look at it like that, he's got a boat.
yeah,
You've got what's going on in here.
yeah.
So
Mine's
we
making money.
yes, well there you go.
Mine's making
Exactly.
money. Yeah, yeah.
That's true too. But
Mm,
it wasn't as a judgmental type exercise. I didn't feel judgmental because every time it's like, oh, there's another carton of beer, as we're highlighting all of our
Yeah,
expensive. Oh,
yeah,
so we're going through a carton of beer a week, are we? That's $60. I don't go anywhere near that amount. I might get a bottle of wine every now and again,
yeah,
but I've got like 10 times as much clothes as him. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess it all comes out in the wash, doesn't it? Yeah.
it does. And it wasn't ever to be judgmental about it. It does make sure that we are building this life together and we do want to invest in our futures. So we
Mm,
want to be on the same page. If you're, I guess, secretly spending stuff that your partner doesn't know about, or you've got a bit of a, what do you call it? I guess like a,
bit of guilt around it.
yeah, something to be guilty about, maybe that's worth exploring. But neither of us had that. So
Yeah.
I when I buy new things, I wear them. So it's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
display. Or,
yeah.
my plant obsession, I'm buying plants all the time, or,
Mm,
when I'm buying crystals all the time, like
mm,
they're on display. There's nothing being hidden.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
he might not have possessions as such, but he drinks a carton of beer a week. So
yeah, yeah. That's
mm,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So that exercise has taken a lot of time,
Mm,
but we finally got there, and it's like, oh, this is exciting. This is cool now, and it's about mindset around money as well. And
mm,
it's definitely something that I'll report back to you in a few months, maybe after
mm,
the first
yeah, yeah,
quarter, and we'll see how this has gone.
yeah.
But other than that, I'm writing an EFT course that has been blowing my mind.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good.
And what else? Yeah, I've just been really focusing in on really integrating everything I've learned in the last year,
Hmm.
because it's all well and good. When you're on a quest for knowledge, you take it in, you take it in, you take it in.
Yeah.
But when you don't integrate it, or like, it's like when you're cramming for an exam,
Yeah.
and then when someone asks you 3 months later, oh, what was that again? It's like, it's gone. I don't know.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
so it's really letting things land and reviewing. So I've actually been doing a lot of that kind of stuff to really live, walk the walk. I'm not just talking it, I want to walk it too. And
Yeah.
that brings us sort of back to what we were talking about prior to us hitting the record about, raising your vibration, and really living authentically, living in your highest vibration, and working out how to get to those
Yeah.
parts along the way. If
Yeah.
you want to mention
So
that.
so interesting. So I'm currently obsessed with this book, people. Like anyone who talks to me is going to hear about this book. It's reality transforming.
Bring it on, girl.
It's a bit of a light read, as you can see. It's like 800 odd pages in it, but it is just so interesting how reality works. And I think what you were saying before, just then, about like the integration. So there are so many people out there, and like we've all been guilty of it, of being like knowledge gatherers, like just information gatherers. We know this stuff, but we don't necessarily believe it, and we don't necessarily
Yeah.
integrate it. So integration is actually investing the time into digging deep into your shit.
Yeah.
And the other thing it is doing the thing that scares the shit out of you. So that's what I feel that whole integration is. So I know that I'm gathering information with all of this stuff. This is the smaller version of it. If you all want to get into it, Transurfing in 78 days, very very cool. Um, but I'm finding where I'm getting to now is I've got a lot of the information in my head, but sometimes it's about like I now have to do the fucking scary. Oh, sorry, I have to do that's scary. We'll bleep that out. We'll edit that out later. The scary thing that is going to bring it all together. So the scary thing for me is if I want to create a life that comes from a business that supports me and my family so we can have what it is that we want to have, I need to do the scary thing, which is to let the night duty go. And
Mm,
that becomes very scary because that's my security blanket.
yeah.
And what I'm finding at the moment is like I'm in this loop of like, I need to do night duty nursing to have money, and I need to do night duty nursing at the moment because my son is in a place where he doesn't often get through the whole day of school. So I need to be about, I can't be at work doing nursing and get a phone call at, 11:30 in the morning saying, oh, you need to pick up your son. And I just drop my 4 patients that I'm looking after and run. Like that's not a thing. I can't do that. Well, I can, but like I would not be called on very often because I'm casual.
Right.
So night duty works better in that situation at the moment, but it is exhausting, and I get very run. I'm knocking on 50 in February. I can't keep up with it and run a business and keep a house together, etc. So, but I need the nursing for money. But what I'm doing for the money exhausts me. So then I don't have the creativity and the ability to do what I want to do within my business, because my business requires a lot of sort of spontaneity, creativity, kind of fun, which I don't feel I get into when I'm exhausted from doing night duty.
Right.
So it's this vicious little sort of circle that I'm finding myself in at the moment. And it's kind of like I need to build up the pain of where I am enough that I just go, stuff it. Job's gone, I'm in, kind of thing. And yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, your Tony Robinses of the world would say burn the boats and do the damn thing, right? Which would be quit my job and just go. But then, like, sensibly, it'll be like, well, why don't you just scale back to like 3 a week and see how you go, and then scale back to 2 a week and see how you go. But like, is that keeping me entrapped or not? Like, it's just, ooh. So it's that whole, how willing am I to release the safety of that work to create the life that I want and fail? Like, how willing am I to fail at quitting my job and not having the business work? Like, that's the fear that you have to get past.
Yeah.
So that's integrating what I know, because what I know is wherever focus goes, energy flows, or wherever that saying. So it's like, yeah, what do I do? But if I let my job go, will I be so gripped by fear that my vibration won't be high enough to create what it is that I want to create? So
right.
it's such a like dichotomy of like, what do I do? But yeah, I just have to work that out for myself over in my own time. And it's an interesting process, because I know
it is, isn't it? Yeah, because I've still got my safety net and my day job too, which I love, and it's, I've been doing it for a long time, and as have you with nursing. Like, there's a certain aspect of you, it's like, yeah, but I've been training all my life to get where I am in that part too. And just the connections that you make, and having workplace banter as well, and the having colleagues that you enjoy, like that. It's not just work for money. There's other dynamics at play too that makes it still something that you want to keep doing.
And I do enjoy like the nursing part of it. I always said I became a nurse because I love being bossy, because you get to boss people around.
Yeah.
No, come on, we're getting out of bed, we're going to the toilet, come on, let's go, kind of thing. So I do love that interaction with people as well. And you don't have that interaction as much in coaching. Like, you have your coaching calls, but it's not like you can,
come on, have that breakthrough, let's go.
Exactly. Like, you've got your coaching hat on, and like, I have to say that my clients are definitely my friends as well. But when we're in a session, I'm a coach, not a friend, kind of thing. So it's very different dynamic when you're coaching between, like, if you and we're in friend mode at the moment, but if you were like, Kerry, I need you to coach me through this thing, I'd be like, right, coaching hat on, and it would be a very direct conversation. So there's not that banter that you have like with your workmates and with friends and stuff. So yeah, it's a very interesting spot to be in. So
that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, the integration, doing the hard thing, doing the thing that scares you most is the integration, and that's the bit that I'm working towards at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. There's this, like, we're probably both in the sweet spot in as well. We've got a foot in both camps, if you want to call it that. Like, we're holding on to the security of the paycheck that goes with the day job, but our passion and our alignment sort of lies somewhere else now.
Yes. Yeah. And see, I wouldn't even call it the sweet. Some days it's the sweet spot, other days it's the
Yeah.
sour spot. It's like, oh God,
Yeah.
why do I have to do? But because I really feel like when I used to be like a triangle. I used to have kids, house, work, and that was
Mm.
nice and balanced. But now I've got kids, house, work, business, and now it's a square, and that gets
Mm.
really like it gets, and I'm stretched. I've got to stretch that bit further to
Mm-hmm.
accommodate for all of them, and that's the tricky bit, I
And
think.
then throw in, the husband and the friends and the
Anything extra.
anything that's not, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like the last couple of weeks I had like a funeral in Kingston to go
Mm.
to, which is like a 6 hour drive. So that was like 3 days out of my normal week. My son turned 16, so there was a lot of Centrelink and NDIS stuff to deal with
Mm-hmm.
as well. So that stretched me a little. Yeah, so it's like you can maintain this square, but as long as nothing else goes wrong, because you've got nothing in the tank for
And at
anything.
what cost?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So I've been very tired the last couple of days, and yeah, that's the cost is yeah your energy and your
Mm.
passion. Yeah. So always learning.
But I
Always.
find when I'm particularly stretched, let's call it that, like if a funeral that took me out of town was to happen, sadly, um, and you find yourself scrambling at the other end to make up for lost time,
Mhm.
does it help you really work out what truly nourishes you, or like what truly you want? Like, does it make it easier to go, well, this is like, does it help you redefine really what you want to spend? Like, when you're short on time, does it make it easier to work out where you want to spend that time?
It's interesting. I think if you consciously, because I'd never thought I was just scrambling as you like scrambling
Yeah.
was the perfect word for it because that's what I felt like I was doing.
Yeah.
And I think when you're in survival mode, it's like I've just got to catch up. I've just got to catch up. You don't actually think to rise above it and go, oh, where is my time and energy being invested here, kind of thing. So
Mm.
to answer your question, no, I didn't until you just mentioned it then.
Mm.
So yeah, interesting. And if I was just in my business and the business was supporting me, then I would not feel as stretched because I can do whatever I need to online from anywhere, which I did. I did my Power, Purpose, and Potholes program on Tuesday night from my mum's study because I could. I just had to bring my computer and do the thing. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, so knowing that, like, if my business was supporting me, then I wouldn't feel as stretched and then I would be able to absorb some of those extra hits that life throws at you
Mm.
every now and again, those extra pendulums
Yeah.
that, that
Right.
comes our way, right? We can absorb them because we've got a little bit more bandwidth to be able to hold it. But when you're stretched, it doesn't take much for it to just go through the
Yeah.
banner of life, does it? And
Mm.
rip it. So yeah, yeah. So interestingly, yeah.
Well, I guess it's being aware of your limits
Mm,
and knowing what you can and can't catch up on easily enough.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And sleep is definitely like the one thing that I do value over everything now is sleep.
Mm.
Like especially doing night duty, it's so rare. I worked on Thursday night and Friday. Do you think I could sleep come hell or high water? There was no
Mm.
way. And because I was putting excess importance on it, I was like, I got to sleep, I got to sleep, I got to sleep. And it was so hard. And Ashton was home and it was just a disaster. Like I didn't get off to sleep properly until maybe like quarter to 11, I reckon. And then Ashton comes creeping into my room. Mummy, my iPad storage is full. You just fix it here. Don't delete my baby photos, okay? And that was like, oh my God. So now I have to deal with this iPad storage full business. So I'm there like scrolling,
Oh.
getting rid of these photos. And because my son takes like a kabillion photos and screenshots of everything, then my best friend messages me and she goes, "Oh, do you want to come to the op shop in Emerald?" I'm like, "No, I'm in hell." And she's like, "Oh, what?" And I said, "Do you want to take Ashton to the op shop? That would help." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, okay." So around she comes, picks up Ashton for me, takes him to the op shop. Was only gone for about an hour though. Then comes back with a bottle of wine. And I thought, "Oh yeah, stuff it. Why not?" So I just got up and
Beautiful.
Right? But
That's a friend.
oh, it is, right? But didn't sleep like the whole day. Then I got up and rage cleaned the house once she left.
Yeah.
And then my daughter needed me to run her around to parties and pick her up from Bayswater at midnight and like all of these things going on. It's just so I had no sleep that day as well. So I'm catching up a bit from that. But yes, sleep, number one important thing. So I had the first decent night's sleep and then worked Saturday night duty as well. So just like
Messes with you.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I won't bore you all with my life, even though I just have.
No.
But
Rage cleaning, though, that's a thing, isn't it? Nothing gets more
oh,
clean than when an angry wife, like,
a drunk angry wife.
oh, yeah, there you go.
Because yeah, I was a little bit like we went through a bottle of wine between us, so I was a little bit tiddly. Sobered up, of course, by 6:30 when I had to, pick my
Yeah,
daughter's
yeah.
friend up. Because like we're day drinking at like midday. But like, yeah, just running it, just like being a little bit like, oh, like it just made it go quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're
Fun.
clean, yeah, it's like 2 hours on the whole house, and we've only got a little house too. But yeah, get it done a lot quicker. That's for sure. Yeah, drunken rage clean.
Oh,
Highly
funny.
recommend. Highly recommend.
Yes. Yes, right.
Cool. All right.
I'll ask for more life hacks.
Yes, that's it. Drunken rage cleaning, 5 stars.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
All right.
bloody
Well, should we roll on to our scenario?
scenario. Yeah, this one's a
Yeah,
juicy one.
this
Now,
is.
I
Now,
haven't got
for a
it in front of me, so I'm
change,
just relying on Amelia's.
yeah. So I took, this is a scenario that popped up on the internet, and I thought, oh, that's a good one. And I took about 5 screenshots, so it's a bit wordy, but I'll do my best to condense it down so we don't have to read all about it. But it's a bloke writing in for a change.
We like
So
blokes, we do.
yeah, Mr. Anonymous.
Yeah, Mr. Anonymous for a change.
Mr. Anonymous has he says his wife has baby trapped him.
Ooh.
So and he's put baby trapped in quotation marks because he's not sure what she's actually done is the definition of a baby trap. But so they've been together for 8 years. They've got a girl and a boy already, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and he loves his family life. He loves his wife, loves his kids. He says he's got a great career. He's living the dream. And they'd always decided on 2 kids, but lately the wife has been saying she wants a third. And he's like, well, I feel like we're done. Like, according to him, they're done. They've got the boy, they've got the girl, they've nice balance. It's all moving along nicely. And she's decided that no, I've always wanted a big family. And he's like, oh, this is new to me. Like, okay. So they'd had a bit of a rough trot with their son, and they had a few years of sleepless nights because there was a few health issues and fussy colicky and all that. But then by the time he was 2, that had evened out, and they're like, okay, we can actually enjoy life again now. Like, we've got through the rough stages. And he's saying, no, I don't want a third. We're good. And she's like, no, I've always wanted more. I've always wanted more. And then they got into an argument. She's saying selfish. She's calling him selfish for taking away her dream of wanting a big family. So they were just a bit funny with each other for a while, and then they decided, okay, let's make up. She sort of agreed with him. They decided to make up, and they had make-up sex. And then he's thinking back, he probably should have figured something was up because she had quite the sex drive going on after that.
Right.
Supposedly she was on birth control and they used condoms as well. And she comes to him with a huge smile on her face one day, sat him down and showed him a positive pregnancy test, and she's literally dancing with joy. And he's like, okay, cool. This is a bit of a miracle, or he's not sure how to feel. But then decided that, it was meant to be. Anyway, little bit later, she'd left her iPhone, iWatch.
Yep.
Yep, one of them. And he was doing something and he could see the messages on her watch. Like he said, he wasn't snooping, but they're flashing up in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of her friends saying, "Oh, it worked. You did what we talked about." And he's like, "What?" And then he starts looking after that. And he's worked out that it wasn't the miracle she was making out to be.
Mm-hmm.
She was putting holes in the condom
Yeah.
and had stopped taking birth control. So she's pregnant
Yeah.
through deceitful ways for
Mm-hmm.
him.
Yeah.
So now he's confronted her of that,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in a bad place right now
Yeah.
because she's pregnant and
Yeah.
hormonal, what you want to call it. And he's like, "I feel betrayed. I feel
Yeah.
like you've broken my trust.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave you over this because we've got another baby coming and I love my kids and I love my wife and I love our life. But he totally feels completely betrayed over this.
Yeah.
So he's writing in, is he the asshole?
Yeah, well, not the arsehole because he hasn't actually done anything yet, really, has he?
No, he's contemplating leaving. He's just
Yeah,
so angry. He's
yeah,
angry.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's asking if he's being an asshole for feeling the way that he's feeling, and I
Yeah.
think he's allowed
Yeah.
to feel the way that he feels for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's three things that come to mind
Mm.
with all of this when I
Mm.
hear all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Is number one is there is no love without trust.
Mm.
And yeah, that is a big deal breaker. But he already has two children, three on the way. Then it becomes like a bit of a values idea. Do I value having trust in a relationship or do I value my family? Like, and that's a bloody big call, right? Like, because to stay with the family, it kind of sort of abandons himself a little bit because he's
Yeah.
like, well, if I allow this, what else? Like, yeah, so it's a very, very sticky situation.
Yeah.
And the other thing that comes to mind as well, so yeah, there is no love without trust. She's obviously betrayed him somewhere along the line here. And this is not an uncommon thing. Like I remember when I was younger, like in my 20s, me and my boyfriend shared a house with this other guy who had a son who was about 6 at the time when we were all sort of bunking in together. And I said, "Oh, how did your son sort of come about?" Because he was very young, like he was like 18 or 17 or something when this child was born. And he said, "Well, interestingly, my girlfriend told me that she was pregnant, and I was like happy about it and like, oh, great, over the moon, that's great." And then yeah, when they went to specialists and they were getting the dates for, due dates and things, it didn't quite add up. And
Mm.
what he realized was she had told him that she was pregnant before she was actually pregnant to see if he would stick around. And then when he said he would, then she went and got pregnant. And it was like, oh, that's even sneakier than just getting pregnant.
I've heard of that before.
Oh,
So she
I'm
was
like,
testing it first
yes, to
and
see
then
if
decided she liked his reaction, so then brought it into fruition.
and obviously they've broken up since then. Like he
Yeah.
was probably about 26, 28 or something when we were all in the same house. But it was like, I just thought that is so deceitful. Like it's, and I said, and how did you feel when you found out that that was the way that she went about it? Because I said, I would find that really difficult to
So
forgive.
there was
And
about a month's difference in the dates or something.
yeah, there would
Gotcha.
have been
Right.
about 6 weeks or something. And
Yeah.
it was like, and he was like, oh, he was like, at the time, it was like, oh, it doesn't matter. We're having a baby. Like, he was just so love struck, I guess, that it didn't matter. But
Mhm.
obviously, two kids deep, one on the way, 8 years down the track, the honeymoon's over. So that kind of
Right.
afterglow of like, yeah, insane love might be a little
I
bit.
mean, yeah, he'd made his position clear,
Mm,
and she decided to take matters into her own hands and do it deceptively. Like she
To have her own
obviously,
way.
yes, she clearly felt that she couldn't get her way through natural means
Yes.
yet. Let's just say yet. And so taking matters into her own hands and manipulating an outcome that he wasn't
Yeah.
all in for.
Whether he liked it or
Yeah,
not.
I would be I think he's got every right to feel betrayed and to feel like the trust is gone. That's perfectly valid.
100%. And yeah, so it comes down to that whole Eckhart Tolle, if you find the situation that you're in unacceptable, you've got three choices. It's like you can either accept it fully, exactly how it is, without
Mm-hmm.
wanting to change a damn thing about it. Number two is change the situation if you can, but only knowing that you can only change yourself, your reactions, your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings, all of that, or leave. Like those are your three options. You can accept it fully, leave, or change it. He obviously can't change it because the only thing he can change is himself. He can't change the fact
Mm,
that this child is coming.
mm,
So he's got the two choices: accept it fully or go.
mm.
So if I was to
And
coach
he's
Mr.
yeah,
Ron,
and so I guess the conundrum is he doesn't know which one of those options. And even if you haven't even been told of that, the three, it kind of his head would be all over the place. Do I do this? Do
yeah,
I do this? Do I do this?
mm, yeah,
Yeah.
it's about what can you live with. And I was
Mm,
actually just contemplating it this morning, actually, like the whole reason, like we're all in life for ourselves, like we like to think, oh, I'll do anything for my kids and I'll do anything for whoever, but we're really all in it for ourselves. And ultimately, the thing that we are most afraid of, like the thing that we fear the most when we want to make a big move in our lives, is how we're going to be perceived by others.
right.
So, one of the big fears that he would have in making any decision, either way, is what are people going to think of me? Like, if I stay, are people going to think I'm a sucker? If I leave, are they going to think I'm an asshole? And that's the two, and that would be the things that would be playing on his mind. Like, not only like, because if he leaves her, he's still going to have a relationship with his, like, he can still choose.
He's still going to have three kids.
Exactly, like, and he can choose to, be good about, like, not being a hole about it. Like, you
Mm,
can, there are couples that break up amicably
mm,
and are good about it, and he can still pay the child support, but just choose to not be with her still.
mm.
And if he is going to stay in that relationship but be an asshole to her because of what she's done to
Like,
him,
yeah,
like, is that better or worse for the family as well? Like, if he thinks that he can fully forgive her, accept how it is, and go on business as usual in the marriage, well, then that's awesome for him. If he thinks that he can do that, but if he thinks that he can't, and he's going to hold it against her, and there's going to be that energy of resentment and animosity, and
yeah,
because of the betrayal going
yeah,
on, well, then he needs to make a decision of whether he's going to leave or not. But if he stays, he's going to have to forgive her and completely accept that that is what she has done.
mm.
That's his options.
Yeah. It's when we talk about unconditional love or conditional love, it's like I love you apart from this thing. Well, you've
Yes.
just put a condition on it, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So loving someone fully and making it unconditional, it means no matter what, there are no conditions. So the whole, but sorry, like you said, the
Yeah.
resentment,
Like unconditional also means that, like, you are run at risk of getting your pants pulled down a lot. Like,
yeah,
and when you're in like a reciprocal partnership with someone, there is, like, is it unconditional, like you would love your child unconditionally, but as a partner, you're with them because they add some sort of value to your life. So
mm,
is that unconditional?
mm.
So yeah.
it it it's very thought provoking, isn't it?
Yes.
We Yeah, living with resentment though, living in a house where there's this undercurrent of resentment, it the energetic vibrations and frequency within that house,
Mm,
you
mm,
might think you're getting away with it, but everyone's picking
yeah,
up on it.
Yeah, because on the surface,
Yeah.
everything would look Mickey Mouse Brady Bunch, but underneath,
Right.
living in that environment, like the kids pick up on everything,
Yes.
everything. And yeah, so yeah, that would be the thing. He really needs to do some soul searching
Mm,
because if it was him that we were coaching,
mm.
because obviously she doesn't see an issue with what she's done at all because she's done it. So
She's done it.
we
Yeah.
do what we do because we get something out of it. So she has decided that the betrayal is worth the having the extra child, obviously.
Well,
But
I'm assuming she didn't think she was going to get caught.
yes, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on birth control and using like that's pretty.
It's a miracle.
And yeah, it's like yeah, it's very very dodgy.
She was
Um,
going with the you know how it only says it's 99.9% effective? Yeah,
yeah,
where that 0.01
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, like just it gives me the ick, like that
it
she's gone and
does. It
done that.
does.
But yeah, he needs to really explore his own feelings around is he going to be able to live with the betrayal of
Mm,
what she's done.
mm.
Yeah, that's going to
So
be
how would you coach someone through that, Kez? If a client came to you saying they felt incredibly betrayed,
Mhm,
but they wanted, just say they wanted to stick around and make it work because they love their kids, and if you're going to
mhm,
have three kids, you may as well live in the same house with them, right? Because you're paying for
yep,
them anyway.
mhm,
So let's just say he wants to be there for his family, but he's
mhm,
got this total underlying resentment bubbling up for this wife.
mhm, yep.
What would you suggest?
I would first of all invite him to feel and say out loud, journal around all of the emotions that are coming up because what you hold in is what you put out, and what you put out is what you get back. So if it is inside him anyway, that all needs to come out. Like that needs to be I know, to vent your spleen is I think is how you say it. Like all of that needs to come out so you've got like a clean slate to work from. So number one, with any coaching session, emotional regulation is number one thing. Like you can't coach someone who's in survival mode and their head's all over the place. So first of all, I would just get him to spill his guts on
Mhm.
everything that he feels
Get
and
it
to
out.
validate, validate, validate. Yes, you have every right to feel this. And validating is not, jumping on his boat and rowing with him and going, yeah, she's a bitch, isn't she? It's just acknowledging that he was put in a very uncomfortable situation that that she had no right to put him in. And so, yeah, so that would be the number one
So it's
thing.
making it okay to feel the way you feel.
Absolutely, absolutely, because you feel what you feel for a very good reason.
So we don't want to add then shame for feeling the way you feel on top of what you're already feeling.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep,
So it's
yep.
sort of cutting through and going, I don't like the way I feel, but it's okay to do it
Yes.
because you can move through it faster
Hmm.
when you're not attaching guilt and shame to things as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honesty is the only way to move forward because if you are not honest with the way that you are feeling, and
Mm,
these things are what we call in shadow coaching temporary personal truths. So these are things that feel very real and very true for you in the moment. And so you need to get them out. Otherwise, they're just going to stay in there and fester and they're going to block any sort of movement forward until they're heard, until they're seen and heard. So they're just going to go, oh, you want to move forward? No, you can't. You haven't acknowledged me yet. Haven't
yeah.
acknowledged how shit you feel about this yet. So you need to actually get it out of the way. And then what I would work on is, I would get him to explore his values around what does he value the most. So there are different ways that you can do values work, but I would just say, what are the top 3, 4, 5 things that you value the most, and then I would get him to sort of feel into it and prioritize.
So things like honesty,
Yep, honesty, integrity, family,
trust.
trust. Yeah, where
Mm,
would he put that?
mm,
Yeah, and we'd sort of probably go from there as well.
mhm.
And then even say like things like how is what she did to you a problem for you? Like even though that sounds like a very, very obvious question, until you actually consciously think about how is it a problem for me, that will sort of help him to understand if it's a deal breaker or not. So
Mm.
yeah, sometimes you don't know how big a problem is until you actually have someone say, "How is that a problem for you?" Like, it's kind of like, "How is your people pleasing a problem for you?" It's like I've never thought of it as a problem. I thought it was obvious, but hang on, let's get specific because
Yeah.
specificity evokes emotion as well. So if you can get the more emotion you can get out, the cleaner the slate will be for him to be able to move forward on his
Mm.
decision of whether to stay or go as well. So yeah, that is probably how I would go about it. But obviously, coaching is very much a play it by ear and an instinct
Yeah, for
kind
sure.
of thing as well. So I would see where we would go after all of the emotion was unraveled. Then I would kind of assess where he's at and just see where it went from there. But there's plenty of other sort of avenues. And then, whatever he decided, then we'd talk about identity. Who are you going to be in this role? If you're
Mm.
deciding to stay, who are you deciding to be if you stay? Like, you're going to be someone who is going to not forget what she's done, but forgive what she's done. Like, are you going to
Mm.
be someone who can let it go? Are you going to be someone who will stand in their integrity? Are you going to be someone who will not, create a brownie point system? Like, if she stuffs up, oh, remember that thing you did? Like, you're going to be someone who doesn't throw it back at
Right.
her. Like, because
Like
when
a
you forgive her,
scorekeeper.
yes. So it's like, if you
Yeah.
forgive her, you need to forgive her fully. Are you
Yes.
prepared to do that? And be honest. Be
Or
honest.
every time you're booking a hotel room and you can get a 4 bed but not a 5 bed, are you going to be saying, well, if we didn't have that other child, this would be so much easier?
Exactly. Yeah. So doing a bit of identity work around that, going into willingness, how willing are you to let this go? And
Mm.
just know that if you're not willing to let it go, you're willing for it to be a wedge between you forever and ever. Amen. And
Mm.
everything is okay. If you're willing for it to be a wedge between you forever and ever, okay.
Yeah.
Aside from that, then where you want to go. So yeah, lots of avenues to explore.
And coaching is great for these sorts of scenarios because let's think about he's going to be probably talking to his mates or his family,
Mm-hmm.
and think about how your friends, when you're coming up to your friends and saying, oh, so and so did such and such to me, and
Mm-hmm.
then the friends come in and say, like you said, they're rowing the boat with you, they're like, what an asshole, do do do,
Yeah,
and they're projecting onto you
yeah,
their own shit, right?
yeah, yeah.
Whereas a coach doesn't do that.
Mm,
There's no projection
right.
and
Mm-hmm.
there's no judgment.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about exploring how to get you to the next point
Yes,
or
and it's
how
and
to
it's
move
about
forward.
exploring. Yeah, it's about exploring your feelings around this, how you feel about it,
Yes.
not hearing our opinion on it,
Yep.
exploring your inner world around this. Yeah.
Yes. So
Mm.
that's something that coaches, and that's why it's sometimes very hard to coach a friend. Because
Mm. Yeah.
what you might want to do when a friend comes over and says such and such to you, and you want to jump on and do those things, but you go, well, hang on, that's not what a coach would do. Let me
Yeah.
take off the friend hat, put on the coach hat.
Yeah.
So um, it's a very different way of going about something. So that's why talking to a coach who's impartial,
Mhm.
non-judgmental, and
Yeah.
gets to the core of the feelings,
Mhm.
um, because everything can create a traumatic response in you.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And when you turn, well, it's not about what's happened to you, it's about what didn't you get in that moment that you needed to move forward.
Mm.
So sometimes if you're ranting to your friends, you're getting validation, but you get very stuck in it, and
Hmm.
it can be very circular.
Yeah, that's it. Whereas a coach will actually validate you, but then move you forward from it. It's
Mm.
like where you might get validation from your friends. So think of your emotional feelings around something as weeds in the garden.
Mhm.
Talking to your friends about it will help you to pull them out. Oh, he did this and like this was shit and blah blah blah. And you're getting it off your chest, which is really
Mm.
good. But then you can walk away with just like the barren ground of like, oh God, okay, I've got that off my chest. I feel better. But with
Mm.
a coach, we're going to go, okay, what are we going to plant here now? So
Mm.
it's like
Good one.
moving away from the shitty way that you're feeling and processing that, but also, okay, we're in a spot of neutrality now. Where like, yes, I've gotten it all off my chest, and I'm like, oh, I feel better now. Now, who are you going to be moving forward? What are we going to plant moving forward? And that's how a coach differs. And it's interesting what you say, like a lot, like all of my clients, I've got like 20 clients who I do one-on-ones with. Um, it's because we're all friends now, of
Yeah.
course. Like we've been working together for like a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
We're all friends, whether we like it or not. It just
Yeah.
happens when you hang with someone for that long and you know all about them. And yeah, I will very clearly state in a session, I will very clearly state as a coach, this is what is going to move you forward the most. This is what I want you to work through.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the session, I'll just say, as a friend, I'm pissed off that he's treating you this
Yeah.
way. As a friend,
Right.
not a coach, but as a friend, it pisses me off that he did that to you. Like,
Yeah.
but I will make it very clear what hat I am wearing in what situation.
Yeah.
Because as a coach, I'll say, oh, so when he does that, how does that make you feel? But yeah, as a friend, I'll be like, he's an asshole. So yeah,
Kick him to the curb.
that's it. Kick him to the curb, girlfriend. But like, it's very important that if
Yeah.
you are a coach listening to this, that you need to make sure you tell your client which hat you're wearing.
If you're wearing more than one. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
yes, very interesting. But yeah, I do not feel good for Mr. Anonymous. That would be something that I don't know if I
Yeah.
would get past.
It's hard. And
If it's
maybe
a
inviting his wife to come in for a session too, because she's got to be feeling maybe
interesting
not
to,
good about, I didn't intend to trick my husband. I wanted to be on the same page, but this desire for a third child overrode the desire to keep the marriage truthful.
yeah, it would be
Like
interesting to see.
it meant so much to her, she was prepared to do it in a deceitful
Mm,
way, rather than in a let's go into this with our eyes wide open together.
yeah, because
Mm.
it is a very, yeah, it's something that like I one of my very good friends, she's never had kids, and she went into the marriage saying that she would never have kids. And she got to a point where she was sort of hitting her late 30s, and it was like, well, if we're going to have kids, now's the time. And he still said no, like her husband still said no. And she's like, I just have to respect that because I came into this marriage
Yeah.
saying I didn't want to have kids either. So for me to do anything else would just be to say, and that's not the marriage I want.
Yeah.
So yeah. So and
And
then
it's okay to change your mind though too, because
yeah,
when you got married, you might have been younger and you were on a certain trajectory, and 10 years later or whatever,
yeah,
you might go, you know what, I might have changed and I want to explore that. Can we talk about it?
yeah.
Just because you've agreed to something a very long time ago doesn't
Mhm.
mean that that's the way it has to be forever. So
Absolutely. But
that's
yeah, that
good on
would
her for
be
asking the question.
yeah. And yeah, very okay to change. But yeah, as long as he's on board with it, otherwise it
Yeah,
would be like,
yeah.
well, if this is a deal breaker, then break up with him and have to find obviously some other way of having
Start
a
again.
child, which in the
Mm.
late 30s is probably, there's sperm banks, there's whatever, but like, yeah, it would
Yeah,
depend
yeah.
on the deal breaker it was. It's like, no,
There's
not
trickery.
yeah, obviously, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
There's
And
ways to get what you want, but
yeah.
yeah, like you said, at what cost?
Yeah, yeah. And as she has that third baby, and as that third baby grows, he might think, "Oh my God, this is the best baby we've ever had." I don't know, like who knows? Who
Yes.
knows what could happen? But yes, what we can only work with what we know now, and it would be like
Yeah.
a choice. Yeah, yeah.
I remember because I've got three kids, and so I've got my two girls, and then baby number three was our boy. And someone said to me once, because after we'd had our two girls, we're like, no, are we done? Like I'd always imagined, just I grew up as one of two, and my husband was one of two. So I don't know, just two parents, two kids. That just seemed to make sense. And
Mm-hmm.
we got the two kids, and then I wasn't quite sure. It's like, do we want to? Not because we didn't have a boy or anything, but just the whole. Am I done? How do I know? Do you know when you're done? And a
Yeah.
friend said to me, she was actually pregnant with her fourth child, and she said to me, when you're done, you 100% know when you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, I don't know that I've got that feeling yet. Like I didn't need another child,
Mm-hmm.
but this part of me felt like I wasn't done.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I'm, it wasn't exactly planned, but it wasn't unplanned either.
Yeah.
Like we didn't purposely like, oh, we're gonna let's go for number three. Like it wasn't that. It just sort of, oh well, let's just sort of see what happens. And baby number three came, and such a blessing, such a beautiful soul. And I wouldn't, I cannot imagine life without this boy that we've got. And he's
Mhm.
just the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
As are my girls, like, but
Yeah.
as soon as I knew I was having number three, I go, oh my God, I so know I'm done. I know I'm done. So
Yeah.
that whole, yep, when
Yeah.
you know when you're done. And I don't know whether that's just because of the female perspective of, the pregnancy, the bearing of the birthing, then the immediate the first few years is all about the mum
Yeah.
giving everything to this child. So there's probably more of an impact on the mum
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. Whereas the
in
men,
terms of
men would be like, I just
knowing you're done.
gotta keep on slugging, gotta keep on working.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess she just felt that she just knew she wasn't done.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
she could have, like, I mean, if you wanted to do it in a way that was trustworthy and,
Yes.
in integrity,
Mm,
she could have, chipped away at it for another year or so. Like, it wasn't
mm,
like, that there was any sort of sense of urgency. Like,
mm-hmm,
for the sake of the marriage, she could
mm-hmm.
have tried, stating her case a little longer than what she did because obviously he loves her
She was
and
32 years old at the time.
yeah. So she
Yeah,
had plenty of
she had
time.
time.
So
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, she could have done it in a more of her higher self way, but
Mm,
chose not to. But it,
yeah,
these souls will come into the world however they can. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's a tough one, Mr. Anonymous. But yeah, those are your three choices, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's not something that you can tell what's going to happen. That's a lot of soul searching and a lot of work
Yeah,
to know which path is the one that he would go down. But it's been okay with your like because you can make a decision based on what you think will make a lot of people happy, but
yes.
you have to live with that, and you have to be okay with what that cost you in terms of
Mm,
yourself. Like, did you
yeah,
abandon a part of yourself to make everyone think that you're the good guy?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at what cost how willing are you to be seen as the bad guy? Like it's just there's lots of that goes on with such a
Yeah.
big decision for sure.
And it's not to say anger doesn't subside. That
Yeah.
that initial resentment, the initial um, that
Mm,
can come down, and then he can be okay with it, I guess, in the end.
yeah, yeah. And I would definitely do a lot more. Like the Gottmans have done a lot of work. Sue
Yeah.
Johnston have done a lot of work around relationships and stuff. And yeah, I would definitely get to some sort of relationship counselling of some sort to see how you can move through it. Because yeah, if
Mm.
he wants to keep the family unit together, that's what will need to be done. If he can ever get through it, he may not ever. Who knows?
Mm.
Everyone's individual.
That's it. That's what we
Hmm.
know.
There we are. Anyway, we'd be very interested for our listeners at home. What would you do? What would you
What would you do? So there's a word for it. Hang on, I had it. Reproductive coercion.
do? Ooh, that's a good one.
Sometimes it can be an accident, sometimes it can be on purpose,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it can even be recognized as a form of abuse because
Yeah.
it can definitely go the other way, where the female might not want another child or a child, and they find themselves pregnant, maybe against their will, and then what to do with that.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
another whole big thing, though, isn't it? So,
yeah, absolutely. It's
but yeah,
not.
it can go both ways. Put it that way, and it can be, depending on how it's done, I guess. Yeah, it can be a form of abuse.
Yeah,
Mm.
100%. Yeah. Cool
Mm.
beans. Shall we leave it there, Millsy? How long will we be?
Let's do that. Let everyone absorb that, and
Go
we'll
about
we'll
their
try
day?
and come back before without such a gap next time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We won't leave it for 6 weeks this time.
All right.
Ex-
Well, I hope you enjoyed our new song. Thanks
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
Bron and team, for making us that. Shall we end on it? I don't even know if I've got it.
yeah. Let's see if we can.
Let's see if we can end on it.
And end with a song. End with a dance.
Let me find it again. Hold on. I had it on my screen and then it's gone.
Millsy and Kes, hear what they say, just between us, no need to fuss. They keep it real, help you to heal straight up. Millsy and Kes, straight up. Millsy and Kes, straight up. Millsy and Kes.
I got to turn record off now.